Scientists right now are working to protect some of our most precious pollinators from an invasive fly, one that's spread throughout the Northwest and beyond.
As Catherine Cook reports tonight, there is now a local effort to find solutions.
In this wildflower field in Aurora, workers are buzzing with excitement.
So cute.
And so are the bees. Mason bees, to be exact, pollinating 95% of everything they land on.
And they belly flop onto the flowers, and they get completely covered in loose pollen.
So protecting them from the invasive Houdini fly,
these really have the potential to hurt our mason bee populations,
is a critical mission for Abigail Leonard. She's here from UC Davis studying how mason bees and the parasite interact. Native to Europe, the Houdini fly showed up in Seattle 8 years ago and has quickly spread along the West Coast and beyond.
You know, they look like a tiny little fruit fly flying around your bee hotel.
Leonard says mason bees nest in hollowed reeds or stems where they collect pollen for their young.
Now the Houdini fly, it's a very aggressive parasite. It sits and waits at the nest entrance for that mason bee female to go out and collect pollen and nectar, and then it sneaks in and lays its eggs on the pollen that the bee left for her larvae.
Right now, Leonard says Houdini flies are impacting 1 out of every 3 mason bees. But how many flies are doing that damage? She hopes to find the answers in these cages. Each one is equipped with a special bee hotel, bees, and a varying number of Houdini flies.
If we get the same amount of parasitism in a cage with 2 flies as a cage with 16 flies, we know that just 2 flies are capable of doing a lot of damage.
The OSU Extension Office planted this Phacelia last fall. It's native to the West Coast, and mason bees love it. Planting some in your yard is just one thing you can do to help support the mason bee population.
As the Houdini fly are spreading so quickly, and they're just devastating to our sweet little bees.
Tira McKelvey is with Rent Mason Bees, which supplied these bee hotels for the study. They're different than those you might find in a hardware store made from bamboo and drilled wood, which McKelvey cautions against using.
And you have to be able to open everything up and clean in the fall. And so when you see these cute little bee hotels, please don't get them. They're going to be harmful. They'll be predator habitats if you're not managing and taking care of them.
Taking care of the pollinators that are taking care of us. In Aurora, Catherine Cook,